So let's talk to CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Page Pate about all of this, Page, because first of all, wondering if Disney has a bigger obligation to guests here. I mean, they're living in this environment where alligators are indigenous. So what are Disney's responsibilities?
Well, this is not something that should have been a surprise to Disney. Given the location, the fact that they've seen alligators on the property before, the fact that they've had encounters between alligators and other people, they should have at least warned visitors that alligators could be in the lagoon. It's not very difficult.
So the no swimming wasn't enough?
Not enough, because this kid wasn't swimming, and you need to know what the risk is. Is the risk of drowning, or is it the risk that you're going to have a large reptile come out of the lagoon and grab your child and pull him back in? So I think they need to be specific about the type of risk that a visitor may encounter when you go up to the lagoon. The other question is, besides failing to warn about this risk, should they have done anything when they recognize that there's an alligator in the area? We know that they have had alligators removed from different areas of the park.
They have done that.
Absolutely,
yes.
And it's easy to do. I mean, this is a large corporation. It is a large property, but they are aware of the risk, and it's their obligation to keep people safe.
So with that said, do you think the Graves family will sue them, or do you think it'll even get to that point?
I can't imagine. There's not going to be a lawsuit here. There's just going to be a big check. All Disney will want to do is resolve this case, I think, as quickly as possible. I don't think the liability is really debatable here. And more importantly, the press, the public is in an outcry here, because they expect when they take their family to a place like Disney, they're going to be safe. So I think Disney will want to settle this and settle it quickly.
So that's my question. Because, as I said at the beginning, alligators are indigenous to this part of the country. Disney is on a huge property where they naturally live. So how does Disney, from this point on, in your estimation and from a legal perspective, how do they protect themselves and their guests moving forward?
Well, Christy, they can't guarantee safety. They can't guarantee that there'll never be another encounter between an alligator and a visitor. But they can do the best that they can. They can take reasonable steps, number one, to warn people about the risk, and number two, to mitigate risk or try to prevent something like this from happening when they know that there's an alligator in an area where small children are going to be.
So if there had been a sign that said alligators could be in this lagoon, that would have protected Disney a little more than it did this time around?
A little more. That answers the first question about should they have warned of this known risk. But the second question is still, were they negligent? If they knew that there were alligators in the area, should they have taken affirmative steps to go in and remove the alligator? So it's really two separate legal questions.
Okay, gotcha. Page Pate, we always appreciate
Thank you.
Your insight. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.